Wandering Sword is probably the very first Chinese martial arts RPG to adopt the HD-2D aesthetic first coined by Square Enix with Octopath Traveler. Hey there, it's Leaf, and today on Turn-Based Lovers, we are taking a look at Wandering Sword, a wuxia or Chinese martial arts themed RPG set in the boundless lands of ancient China. The game is now released on Steam, and the people at Spiral Up Games are giving away exclusive Steam keys, so join their Discord, follow them on X, formerly known as Twitter, and as usual, links down on the description. Set in a conflict-ridden ancient China, we follow the story of Yuan Yi, a bright young man that encounters several unfortunate events that change the course of his life forever. Going through the main story and the many different side quests, I encountered wuxia tropes that I've seen countless of times reading wuxia novels where upon reading them, I would probably be rolling my eyes off at this point. However, seeing them presented in the game, I couldn't help but be thrilled to see those tropes play out, and instantly found myself referencing the multitude of wuxia titles that I've been reading. The main storyline has a fairly decent narrative. It's good, but nothing revolutionary. And despite how the game looks and the cartoony art style, the story actually has a lot of tragic themes sprinkled throughout the storylines. Once I got to explore the world, I actually found myself more immersed in the stories of the side quests rather than the main story. The fact that these side quests had me scouring the world, interacting with every NPC, helped incentivize exploration to a significant degree, causing me to explore the many different stories as well as the wonders and vistas this game had to offer. Aside from the obvious HD-2D influence, the game actually pulls off an amazing visual representation of ancient China. It is evident that the team behind Wandering Sword put great attention to detail in conveying the world of the Jianghu. Every area I explored felt drenched with ancient Chinese themes, with not a single thing looking out of place. Exploring the world of Wandering Sword felt like going on a trip. You'll find yourself in martial schools on top of mountains, going through unique towns and villages, and taking in the bliss of nature. I can say that, without a doubt, exploring the world of Wandering Sword never had a single dull moment. But a world would never truly feel alive without the characters, so Wandering Sword remedies that by having significant characters be uniquely designed so meeting new characters actually leaves lasting impressions. Animation also plays a big part in this, as the way they move adds depth to their distinct look and personalities. The game will spoil you with awesome animations during the cutscenes, but the combat also features different visual effects and animations for different moves and different techniques, which can be pretty fun to watch. As for the gameplay, the game can be a bit overwhelming at first because there is a lot of stuff going on here. Especially when mixed with martial arts lingo, it's easy to get lost in all the systems and mechanics in place. Multiple weapon archetypes, a character affinity system, different interaction options, crafting, 2 combat systems, there is a lot going on. Thankfully, the game's prologue acts as both an introduction and a tutorial to the different systems the game has to offer. As you progress through the main story, the game opens up, slowly introducing you to its different systems one by one. Most systems are pretty simple, so understanding them wouldn't be too hard, but there are a few where even after the tutorial, might still be overwhelming to some. Wandering Sword features 2 battle systems, the standard turn-based mode and a real-time mode. Both battle systems play out fairly similar to each other, but the main difference between real-time and turn-based is that in turn-based, you get to control all of your units one at a time, while in real time, you'll only have control over the main character while your other party members act automatically, and the game won't wait for you to decide on your actions. At first, I didn't really understand the idea of the real-time mode, as it was a bit clunky, where everything is happening so fast all at the same time, that in the early game, this usually resulted in a game over. But once I got further into the game, I finally realized what it was for. Combat in the game can get a little too monotonous at times, especially when you're farming mobs in an area. This is where real-time mode comes into play. Because of the fact that real-time battles end way quicker than turn-based battles, this helps resolve battles a lot quicker, which helps prevent very slow brain-dead grinds. Playing through the game, I found a couple of minor problems and one huge glaring issue. The first problem was this lack of satisfying audio feedback when attacking. In a lot of RPGs, there's this satisfying on-hit sound effect, and it feels weird not having that here, making most attacks and even some special moves feel very lackluster. The other minor issue is more directed towards new players of the genre. The inventory management is quite simply overwhelming. At a certain point when you start getting all these items, your inventory just starts bloating up, getting filled with all these items that you have no idea what they're used for. Despite the game having an unlimited inventory space, the problem still lies when you start to decide which items to sell, which items to give, and which items to keep. Because of this, it is very easy to lose an item early on that would have been really useful in the later parts of the game. And the last problem, which is by far the biggest one and the only one that I really can't look past, is the flow of quests and stories. Don't get me wrong, the narratives in this game are absolutely wonderful, but the problem lies in the progression, which breaks the flow of the stories. While trying to complete quest objectives, I found myself constantly jumping around different quests, because my team just wasn't strong enough to progress to an entire quest line. This would have been an okay thing if it only affected the main quest line, but the problem is it's also true for every side quest. For my entire playthrough of this game, I don't think I've ever finished an entire side quest that involved fighting in one go. In other RPGs, you'll notice very early on when doing a side quest if you're capable of doing it, or if you're still underleveled and should check it out later. But even then, when you're finally able to do said side quest, you'd normally be able to finish it in one go. Here, you'll constantly be jumping between different side quests, severely disrupting the flow of the story, breaking the immersion. Wandering Sword is a decent HD-2D RPG perfect for fans of wuxia or Chinese martial arts. There are a lot of activities to do, and content-wise, you'll be spending quite a number of hours in this game. It definitely holds up as its own RPG, and despite looking like a carbon copy of Octopath, it is able to give an entirely new, awesome experience, giving it the right to carve its name on one of the top RPG games of 2023. But despite its great presentation, it is still plagued by an immersion-breaking issue that I hope will be fixed in the future. The game is now available to purchase and play on Steam, so make sure to check the game out if you're interested.